So let's continue. Today we will go through the training. I don't think we will take 3 hours. It's less than that. But so what we can do is after this training, I will help you to create your test tenant. So, and I believe you already have a test Vicarius tenant in the cloud. Mr. Son already has the access. I can add the two of you into the tenant. You can continue to use. Okay. So today training, we will also go through the presentation slide. We will also talk about the training itself. And the other thing is you need to go through some technical hands-on. You need to go through exercise to run and install, and you screenshot the result and you send it back to me. So I will look through the result and I can give you the certificate. Okay. So you don't need to do everything by today. You can take your time, maybe send by 1 week, you should complete the training exercise and you send the lab result back to me. Okay. So I'll continue. If you have questions, you can let me know. You can stop me, or you can maybe type the question in the chat window, easier for you, so I can explain. Okay. So my name is Mark. I'm the pre-sales, the solution architect for the region Asia Pacific plus Japan. Today, let's go through technical training. So what Vicarius will do is for customer, right? Vicarius is actually a vulnerability remediation platform. So it means that we can help you to scan, right, and understand what vulnerabilities you have. And we can also help you to remediate, to fix the problem. Okay. So most customers hear us say remediate. So they will think of official patches. So yes, we can help you to download official patches and install. But at the same time, official patches is not the only way to fix a problem. So the question here is, what if there's no official patches? So what do you do? So Vicarius, we also have scripting that can help customers fix the problem, right? Fix the CVE. But it's not official patches. Of course, when the official patch is here, you still need to deploy them. You still need to install them. Okay. Now, what if you don't have official patches? No scripts to help you fix the problem. We have one last thing that is called patchless protection. Some people call it virtual patching. Okay, but we will talk about all that later. So the company started in 2016. Our headquarters is in New York. We have more than 2 million assets. When we say asset, it means that endpoints protected by us that we install, we help customers scan, we help customer patch. So we have more than 2 million endpoints that we help customer to control. And this is across 50 different countries. So we have about 600 plus active customers. So we train partners like you. We also train resellers if you need to. Of course, I think most likely in Vietnam, maybe a little bit, let's say places like Thailand, where the language is better to speak local language, which I don't know how to speak local language. So maybe you can train the reseller as well, okay, and help certify them. So we know this problem. We are all in security. We know this problem. There are nearly statistics, right? Data outside show that we actually have about 3,000 vulnerabilities per month, which means that in 1 day we have 100 brand new vulnerabilities. But Vicarius, for us, Vicarius, we do not show you any CVE that is not related to you. So we will only show you CVE that is related to that organization that you help customer to deploy, okay? Because there's too many data out there, okay? We want to show you only things that is related to you. Now, we also have customers who may want to test out patches before they install in the production environment. Now, when you are testing your patches, your production environment is still open to attacks, right? So they have all the issues there. So how can we temporarily mitigate, or how can we temporarily have protection while your customer is actually testing the actual patch in your UAT environment, in your testing environment. So for Vicarius, we have something that's called patchless protection. So you can deploy this to actually offer temporary protection. Now, of course, there are also cases that we have heard of that, let's say in this case, like Chrome announced that, oh, I'm sorry, there's a new vulnerability out there. And I'm sorry, the engineers of Google, it's still creating the patch. Meanwhile, we still need protection. So this is also the case where you can use our patchless protection. Okay, so legacy approach, the old approach that what we are very familiar with. So I'm sure you heard of all the brands, the very good brands, like the Hannibal, like Rapid7, Qualys. These are very good brands. And also they tend to focus on what we call network scanning. I'm sure you know network scanning means you have a scanner, you sweep across the network and try to find endpoints or maybe network device, and then try to scan and try to understand through the open port number what vulnerability they may have or what could be the OS there, right? And slowly you scan. So all these, well, Hannibal, Rapid7, all these are good brands. They're very good, but also it's not enough. Right? It's different. When you're scanning across the network, I'm sure you know it takes up network bandwidth. People are worried, and therefore the scanning time usually they put very far apart. Okay, you need to schedule a scan. So what about when you are scanning, when the scan time is far apart? Many things, we always say in cyber, it happens so fast that many things could have changed, right? You schedule a scan today, you schedule a scan 1 month later. You also find that this too far away, right? And the many things could have happened in between, okay? And also we often know that when you're scanning through an open port number, you may not be able to see all the things inside there. I know customers also talk about, hey, what about patching? So same things for here. We see that sometimes customers, when they patch everything, they can patch. They patch all that they can patch. They also understand that we also need to understand that there's something like patches not developed in time for vulnerability that's already announced. Okay, so we need to understand all this before we share with the customer. Now, the challenges, I'm sure you know. So with all the challenges that we see just now, scan time too far apart, patching everything doesn't mean that it's all good. That's why our founders, they all come down and they discussed, and then, in 2016, they started this product. So they created what you see on the screen here now. The founders were also pen tester last time. When they help customer to do pen test, they get the result, they share with them. They also tell them, oh, you have this CVE, you should go and patch this, you should use this patch. And now they also speak to customers who have different solution. Maybe they have a Tenable, right? Customer have Tenable. Also, they also speak to the same customer, and they find that, oh, maybe you have WSUS for patching, you have BigFix for patching, but all these are different console. And maybe even the internal team, sometimes they argue. So the founders decide that, hey, I think it's good if we have a same platform where we can do a few things together necessary for this organization. Less argument, less fight between different departments. Okay, so they started with what we call the building this whole thing with something in mind, which is the assessment. You must need this, right? So which is scanning. So yes, for us in Vicarius, in order to scan, so we offer two different types of scan. Number one, we also offer like what Hannibal is doing. scanning the network, try to find endpoints, network devices, try to scan through the port number and try to understand what you have. So this is sometimes trying to scan through the network can be tricky, right? Right. We always say because of the bandwidth, you're worried. So we have this. We also have what we call the agent scan. That means you need to install an agent on the machine you control. So for example, you have Windows 11, you have Windows, I don't know, maybe 2016 server. You have a Linux Ubuntu Red Hat server. You can install the agent there. So when we scan, this agent scan from the inside. So when you scan from the inside, you have a bit more information. So you understand better. Okay. Now, with the scanning results, you know, we from this same system, through the same agent as well, you can also perform what we call patching. So Vicarius will help you. Vicarius will know which patch to download, the hash value of the patch, the URL, where to go to. All this has been checked by Vicarius before they are being taken and installed on the endpoints based on your instruction. Okay. So for us in Vicarius, once you patch, we will also rescan. We will also rescan and we will update you and tell you if it has been fixed. Now, for network scanning that we have, yes, you have to initiate the scan. But for the agent, you do not need to tell the agent scan on this day, scan on this time. So the agent-based installation will scan the machine that is being installed on based on a few conditions. Number one, you can scan the machine when the machine just power up or reboot, right? We will scan for any changes. Number two, if you install or remove any software, any software that you have, maybe Notepad++, Adobe Reader, anything that you add or remove, we will also scan. Now, if there's no activity, you did not reboot, you did not add remove software or patches, or maybe OS patches, you did not add remove, every 6 hours, we'll also trigger a scan. Okay, so it's almost constantly they keep maybe a few hours, or depending on the changes, we will scan and we will update the dashboard. Now, also when the founder built this, they realized that they need prioritization. So most customers understand prioritization only using CVSS score. So they say, okay, I know you, if this vulnerability, this CVSS score, it means it's urgent, I must patch. When you use Vicarius, you will see that we have prioritization slightly different. It is not only based on CVSS score, because of the agent is already installed on the machine, we will also understand how each third-party application, so when we say third-party application, we are referring to things like Notepad++, Adobe Reader, maybe Microsoft Office. All these are third-party application. Maybe you install Firefox. All these are third-party application. We understand how they are being used. Are they? Do we need does the application need admin rights to start? Is it high usage? Maybe I like to use Firefox. So you see my Firefox would be high usage. Okay, does it have any known exploit out there? Does it have CVE out there? So all this will push the prioritization score higher. Okay. Now with this information, the administrator know where to spend his time, and he can then choose. I think I need to patch my Google Chrome first, right? Because I see that Google Chrome has an exploit out there, known CVE, and there's already a ready patch for me to fix the problem. So the administrator will spend his time to say, okay, let's patch Chrome now, instead of checking all the CVE on all the application that you have. Okay, so we save customer time. So for us in Vicarius, we can help you check what OS you're running, or patches you have on all the machines that you control. We also can check what third-party application you install on the machines that you control. Of course, we do not promise to patch all the third-party application in the world, but I think across the 3 major OS, so we support Linux, Windows, and Mac. We can understand this Linux, Windows, and Mac. We can actually help you to check what patches you have, what you don't have, and help you to patch them. Across these 3 OS, we support about 11,000 third-party application. Okay, so all this information is on Vicarius website. You can find all this information. So other than scanning, prioritization, and also patching, we also have scripting. So if you remember, I mentioned earlier, now if you have a patch from official patches, good, using our console, you can actually deploy the patch. But sometimes you find a vulnerability, there's no patch ready for you yet, but there is a script for you. So for us in Vicarius, we have cyber researcher to help you write script. So you can search for a particular CVE number to see that if we have a script ready for you. Okay, so you can use the script. You can actually help apply the script, and you can help mitigate the risk. If you want to write your own script, we also support that. So you can even write your own script to do maybe a copy registry key. Maybe write a script for Linux to set the firewall rule, right? So you can actually set firewall rule on a big scale. Maybe you have 100 Linux machine that you control. So you can write a script for Linux to set the firewall rule, right? And you test it out, it works for you. You can then deploy this script on those 100 machines. So you don't need to log in and out of every machine to set the firewall rule. Okay? So virtual patch is the last thing that we have. Now, what does virtual patching do for you? So maybe let me take an example. I think you see the slides earlier, we talked about Google Chrome. So same thing, maybe Google Chrome. You have a Google Chrome announcement. Oh, we have a patch. We have a vulnerability. We detected a vulnerability. There's no patch yet. We are trying to make the patch. You have to wait. We all know sometimes waiting for a patch may take a few days, maybe sometimes weeks or even months. Okay, and you find that maybe for us, we are working in the same company. Oh, that's Google Chrome is the approved browser that we use. Everybody is using Google Chrome. We are worried. So let's have some protection. You can do is go to our Vicarius UI. So you check, look Google Chrome and say, I want to give protection for Google Chrome on this following machine using virtual patch or patchless protection. So what it does is the machine that you apply virtual patching on Google Chrome, those machines, they will send the command, they will get the command. For those machines, they will run to the memory space of that machine, try to look for Google Chrome. The agent will try to look for Google Chrome. Once they find it, they will build a bubble around Google Chrome and start monitoring. So there's 2 settings, monitored mode, protected mode. So the monitored mode is listen for attack. If an attack happens, it will still let it pass through, but he will notify the administrator. So the other one is protected mode, to try to listen for attack. When the attack happens, we'll block it and will notify the administrator. Okay. So why do we need to have same console, right? So you can see from the previous slide, everything, all this is in a same console that we have. So why do we need to have a single console? The reason is also because different teams want different things, but they may be referring to different console. They always argue. Okay, so by having different console, there's too many vendors, maybe different brand, right? I use Tenable, I use Big Fix for patching, Tenable for scanning. There's too many different vendor, tough to manage. Different support portal, different places. Maybe you have to pay for multiple license. You have to train your internal team member how to use different products. So for us in Vicarius, we are continuously checking for threats on the machine that you install the agent. Okay. You also can see from the screen that, then just an example, they are reporting, oh, for Firefox, this is what we saw, and this is the risk. You will see a chart from us to understand where's your risk and why we push the score so high. Okay. So over here as well, you can see that another example is by Chrome. You see this small little icon here actually means that there is a patch available for you. So very quickly, the same console, the same UI, you can see what vulnerabilities you have. Straight away, you can see what patches is already there for you. So imagine you help customer install or manage maybe 50,000 machines. So even for their own IT staff, very tough. I don't know who installed what. I don't know where it is. I do not know what patches available for me. I need to keep hunting for all this information. But for Vicarius, all this information is actually within the UI. Okay. So in order for Vicarius to work, yes, you need an agent, but we will also talk about the non-agent based scan later. Okay. So yes, to work. So our strength, the solution's strength is having the agent installed. You can see that by discovery. So once you install the agent there, it will perform discovery. You try to scan and understand what OS you're on, what are the missing patches for the OS. We will also try to scan and understand what are the third-party application that you may have. And if this is the latest copy or latest version of the third-party application, what are vulnerability that we see, all this will be updated to the central console. Okay. When we are going through training, we also give you some information when we training. We also talk about now you need the agent to be installed on the endpoint. So most people will also ask me, where's the central console? So the central console is actually in the SaaS. So for us in Vicarius, we have the SaaS. That's the central console. That's where all the scanning information, understanding what vulnerabilities you have is all at the central console. Okay. Now, after you discover and understand what are the applications you have, what OS you have, and all that, we start prioritizing. Okay, because the agent is also inside there, they understand how often this application is being used. Like I said earlier, maybe we give the example of Firefox. Maybe me, right? I like to use Firefox more than Chrome. So you will see on my machine, only on my machine, my Firefox is high usage. Okay, my Chrome, normal. I don't see any indication. So all this give prioritization to the administrator to understand how he should prioritize his time and how he should spend his time to do the next step, which is remediation. So I mentioned earlier, remediation, you have official patches under patch management. Yes, you can click there to see what are the official patches that you have, and you can deploy them if you need, install them if you need. Now, what if sometimes there are cases that you have vulnerability announced, like I mentioned earlier, vulnerability announced, but there's no official patches. You can use scripting, technical scripting, if you have for that particular CVE, if there are any scripts for you. If there's no official patches, no scripts to mitigate, to help mitigate the risk. You can actually use what we call the patchless protection or virtual patching. Okay. The scans are happening near real time. Okay, you can automate certain action like patching or sending out scripts using automation. So I've also explained most of this in the previous few slides. Once you install the agent, we help you to understand discovery, analyze what is there, know what are the patches available for you, know what are the CVEs there, and then we'll report to the central console. We also help you to prioritize because of the agent is installed there. We give you a better understanding of how you're using those third-party applications. Are there any related CVE? Are there any related attacks that is already out there? And how urgent it is to actually patch or fix the solution, fix the application. Followed by remediate, which is patching. Okay, you can certainly do automated patching. I know most customers will say no, but some customers will still say yes for automated patching, especially only in their test environment. Okay. So to remediate, to fix a problem, you have the three different ways. You have official patches. You have scripting, like I said earlier. You also have what we call patchless protection. So in the UI, you will see patchless protection with this name called X-Protect. Okay. So this is just another picture to explain to you how virtual patching works. So maybe we use Chrome as an example, right? So with Google Chrome announced, I'm sorry, we found a vulnerability. The engineer here are all making the patches now. We need some more time. Okay. Maybe for you as a Vicarius administrator, you go to our console, you try to look for, is there any script that help you to fix the particular CVE, and you didn't find any. Sometimes we always say, right, maybe the vulnerability exists on the binary, which is the executable, Chrome executable itself. So nobody can actually help you except for the vendor, except for Google. So in this case, you can go to our console, go to our UI, find Chrome as an application, and you can say, okay, I want to enable virtual patching or X-Protect now. So you can tick Chrome, and then you can find, I want X-Protect, and you can choose which of the machine that you offer X-Protect. So there's, like I said, there's two modes you can choose. One is monitor mode, one is protected mode. Monitored mode, what we do is we'll build a bubble and we start listening to the Chrome application, communication. They try to, if there's an exploit attempt, somebody try to do something funny, you will still let it go because the instruction is monitor mode. But of course, we'll still notify administrator. Protected mode would be active, stopping, and then notify administrator. Sometimes there are also cases, customers also ask me, so if I enable for Chrome, so what happens if I keep enabling for more and more and more application to look out for virtual patching? So you can see over here, now there's two applications. Customers also ask me, can I enable virtual patching for all the third-party applications? Please don't, right? Because when you enable virtual patching on a particular machine, like maybe I show you one PC, I enable virtual patching. So these two applications, it does take up a little bit more CPU and a little bit more memory space. Okay, a little bit more. So I want customer to be careful when you're enabling. For Vicarius, our guideline is about 5 to 10 applications per machine. So just have to be careful. Okay, right? So the other thing is also like Chrome. Maybe I'm using Chrome now. I'm doing checking, I'm doing my work using Chrome. Maybe on the same server, I have an IIS there running. If I were to close my Chrome, I go out for lunch, you will also find that the memory space, the extra memory space taken to listen for Chrome application will be released back to the system. So we don't keep using the extra memory space. So any CPU cycle, any memory space taken up to protect Chrome will also be released. If I go out for lunch, I come back, I start my Chrome again, the Vicarius agent is smart enough to know that, aha, I see Chrome again. It will also, again, try to build the bubble and start listening again. Okay? So for any question?
No, please continue.
No, okay. So,
Sorry.
yes, yes.
Does the solution support agentless scanning?
Yes, we do. We do support agentless scanning. Like I said very early, we install agent. We install the agent there. But at the same time, we also understand customer want agentless scanning. Why? So I can give you two examples on why we support agentless scanning. Number one, uh, when you install an agent on the machine you control, some customers tell me, "Hey, Mark, over here I'm working in the hospital, or maybe I work in a manufacturing. I have a Windows XP still running here." So I will tell you, oh, based on my Vicarius supported operating system, Windows XP, I do not support you. So you cannot install the agent there. So of course, you can still use network scanning. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
there are also, of course, I'm sure you know, we also, customers also ask me, oh, can you help me to scan my Cisco switch, my network firewall? Okay, yes, of course. So that's also the reason why we support network scan. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so okay. So I know it is about 9 o'clock for you, or maybe 9:15 for you. So let's stop for maybe a 10 minutes break, take some water. If you need to go to toilet, we continue again 10 minutes later. Is it okay?
Yeah, maybe we can take a rest for 15 minutes. This is okay.
Okay, let's stop for 15 minutes and we can come back.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, are we ready? Can we continue?
Yes, go ahead.
What about Miss Tuet?
Let me take.
Okay, sure. I'll wait for you.
Maybe we should just continue. She didn't respond to the message.
Oh, sure. No problem. Okay, we can continue. Okay, you should be able to see the screen now. Let me just continue. Okay, so for Vicarius, for us, what else can you do? So I think we mentioned earlier, we can do vulnerability scanning, we can do patching, right? Remediation, official patches. We also can run scripting, um, and customers actually, last time customer told us, Vicarious, what if you can actually have maybe compliance scan? So they say, so Vicarious asked them, so what do you usually check? They say, oh, CIS, very common. So we keep talking to a lot of customers, and we find that there are a lot of requests on CIS. And of course, soon for us, we tried to do something and we built what we call the CIS compliance engine to actually help to check all this. Okay, so before we actually came out with the compliance portion, customers actually take CIS level 1, level 2, they write their own, they put it like a script, and then they get Vicarious to run the script to check for CIS level 1, level 2 compliance check. And they also maybe write another 2 more script, CIS level 1, level 2 enforcement they enforce. So I think about 4-5 months ago, Vicarius actually started with this compliance. So now we can actually help scan for compliance. So for us in Vicarius now, we can actually help you to do CS level 1, level 2 scan. But we also have customers telling us, I need more, I need NIST, I need this, I need that, different types of scan. So of course, yes, we will be providing more, we will be doing more scans in the future, it's coming. But now we do only level 1, level 2 scan. Customers also tell us, hey Mark, can Vicarius, now Vicarius can do CIS check, scan only. I say yes. And they also help us to enforce, meaning to make the machine compliant to CIS level 1 or level 2. So this is also coming. The product team is going to build this. So with a click of a button, you can actually do enforce, right? You can make the machine comply to level 1, level 2. That means we are making changes. Customers also tell us, Mark, level 1, CIS level 1, sometimes when I use everything inside CIS level 1 to enforce, it actually breaks my application. Can I say these 7 or these 20 clause or 20 selection in CIS level 1, do not check, do not enforce. So our product team also take note of this. They are actually going to build something that will do this next year. Okay, so right now, all you can do for us in Vicarius compliance will be scan for the checks and report back to you. So any item, maybe like your password did not have uppercase, lowercase, we will highlight the item and say, yep, you did not pass this criteria, you did not pass this test. So there's so many checks inside CS level 1 and 2, but we will highlight to you as administrator which area this machine failed. Okay. Next, customers also always ask us about our infrastructure. So I mentioned to you earlier that our central console is actually in the SaaS, central control in the SaaS. If you have machines that you deploy in the cloud, maybe let's say you use Amazon EC2, you use AWS, AWS EC2, you use the Azure virtual machine, and of course, as long as the OS is something that we support, you can install the agent there. Okay, so sometimes customers have everything in their office on premise. So same thing applies. If you have OS, the operating system is something we support, you can install the agent there. The agent will scan and report back to the central console. If you have any desktop, laptop, people, whether they are working with VPN or not, it doesn't really matter to us as long as all the machine have a way to reach back to the internet. For 2 reasons. Number 1, after the agent perform the scan, the agent need to return the results back to the central console. Number 2, the agent also need to go out to fetch the patches and install on the server. That's why you need the internet access. Now, customer also sometimes ask us that, Vicarius, I know you tell me that you don't make patches. You do not make patches. The patches are from Microsoft or Adobe, whichever those companies and brands they are from, right? Red Hat, all that. So you don't make patches, but do you keep the patches for us somewhere in your server in the SaaS? So no, we don't. We do not. Because customers sometimes are worried about the man in the middle, right? We keep the patches, something happened to the patches, then who to blame? So for us in Vicarius, the agent, when you're grabbing the patches, they are actually grabbing from the actual sites, the actual original sites. But where to go, where to grab, which package to grab, what hash value, checksum, and all that is all already verified by Vicarius. We do all the check before the agent go and grab. Okay. We also have some customers who come and tell us, oh, Mark, I have this 4 to 5 server. I do not allow them, I will never allow them to connect to the internet direct. So what can I do? So for us in Vicarius, we also have a Vicarius proxy. This is a little VM, right? You can customize the size, how big you want, how strong the CPU and all that, based on the number of endpoint machine you have. We have the sizing for that. So you can actually install, it's just a VM, run a script. This will be a Vicarius proxy. The Vicarius proxy do 2 things. Number 1, it help to channel, for example, the agent can point to this proxy. We will help you to channel the communication out to connect to the SAS for communication. Now, number 2, when the patches that's required by the server try to go out and grab, come in, we will deposit 1 copy, like a caching server, right? We deposit 1 copy in the proxy. So when the next server may be asking for the same type the same exact patch, they will always check at the proxy first. Do you have this copy here? If yes, good. I'm going to take local copy. Okay, so you save you the external bandwidth. Okay, next. So customers sometimes also ask us, I think it's also good for our partners to understand what is important for us. What's so different from us and other people. Okay, so we provide threat analysis. Now this threat analysis, as you can see from the screen, is not based on schedule scan. So we are unlike maybe some of the brands that do network schedule scan. You have to schedule a scan on every Monday of the month, something like that at this time. Okay. And for us, I mentioned to you a few times that the agent, when you're performing the scan happens when there's a reboot, when there is a shutdown, and then you bring up shutdown, tomorrow you power on, also meaning reboot. So what we will do, we will scan when there's a reboot. We will scan when you add or remove any third-party application or any OS patches. If nothing like this happen, every 6 hours, we will also trigger a scan. Okay, so this information is quite updated. Now, number 2, we also give asset inventory. Now, we want to be very clear. We are not a hardware asset inventory company. But it's software and the vulnerability that exists. Okay, so when this asset inventory, mainly it talks about the software that you have on the machines you control. Now, prioritization. Excuse me, prioritization. I think later it's even better that you look at the console itself. You will understand the prioritization that we do is not just based on CVSS score. Every application are scored differently, even in different organization. What do I mean by this different organization? So today you're Me Too, right? Me Too, you install Vicarius. I am Vicarius. I also have my own installation of my own tenant of Vicarius. Maybe you and I, we are administrator for our own company, right? So maybe for you, Me Too, you installed Apache version. Okay, I don't know the latest for Apache version, what version they're at. But let's say you and I, we're using the same Apache version. Of course, the CVSS score the same. Maybe for you and Me Too, you very focused on security. There's maybe more administrator to help out. When you configure your Apache, when you configure, you say that my Apache I do not allow root to run as a service, run the Apache service. Maybe for me, I'm one person doing security, one person provision, need to make new VM, need to do company this, networking, everything is me. No low manpower, only one person. So I don't have much time. So I don't care about security, let's say. And my Apache server root service is okay, no problem, run, right? So the system will the Vicarius agent will also understand, oh, okay, you using root to run, power user. Oh, now your prioritization to patch might be higher, depending on the CVE that we see. Okay, so all this will push, everything will push the score very different for you and for me. Maybe your Apache is internal facing. Maybe for my Apache, I install it, I don't care, I just face external, I face the internet. So all this also push the score very differently for you, for me, in our own console. Okay, next, patch management. We also want to give the flexibility for the customer, not only just to scan, but in the same console, you can actually issue a patch, not just for operating system, also for the third-party application that you see on the machine you control. I also tell you that some of my customers ask me, hey Mark, you mentioned for the 3 OS, Linux, Windows, Mac, the third-party application you support about 11,000, about there. So what if I have some application that you do not support? So when we say we support, it means that I can scan, my agent can scan and know that this supported version of application, let's say Notepad++ is something we support. So when we scan, we'll know that, you install Notepad++, which version you add. Okay, I also can upgrade for you within the same console. Maybe let's pick a software. Maybe this software is your customer write their own, developer write their own program, executable that you run, they will install something. This is your own program, which nobody else in the world will know. Of course, Vicarius won't know. So we also cannot be able to support you for upgrading within the same console. There's no button for you to click and say update. Okay. Now, if you don't have this, if you have a proprietary software, an application that is not supported by us, it's okay. You can upload the installer to us and use scripting to install scripting to do things. Okay, that will work. Right? So patches protection, I think you saw slightly earlier, I have 2 slides that explain patches protection, or so-called X-Protect or virtual patching, right? Okay. In the market, you also hear other brands telling you, Trend Micro, I'm sure you're very familiar with Trend Micro. They also say, oh, I also have virtual patching. So we are different, in a different way. We do it differently. Virtual patching for them, they do it in a network way. Okay, either they are by having an appliance or by the agent itself having another additional like a network layer, like a firewall to do virtual patching. Okay, so for us, we feel that for that approach, there's no right and wrong, but for that approach, by having additional like a network layer, right, on the machine itself, on the machine, the endpoint can be heavy in terms of resource. Okay, so that's why you see for us, for our patches protection, we can protect specific application that you want us to protect. The moment you kill the application, we release the resource back to you. So it's not so heavy. Okay. We also have network scanner. I know just now, Mr. Vu, you also asked me, oh, okay, do you have a network scanner? So yes, we do. Right now, there is already a network scanner inside. We're using Nmap. Okay. The new network scanner is coming out, I think, either end of this month or end of next month. So the newer network scanner can also support authenticated scan, which means that you need to give us the username, password for the particular machine, right? So maybe there's a machine. I'm a guest, all right? I come to your company, me too. I visit you in your office, and you say, okay, Mark, you join the guest Wi-Fi. So I join. but you're not sure that maybe my machine has vulnerability. Of course, you do not want to install Vicarius license on my laptop. So yes, you can, the new scanner, you can actually scan my laptop, a guest laptop. But of course, you need the username password to do authenticated scan. Okay. So automation, we can certainly create automation. So later, I think hopefully we have a little bit of time. I will show you the automation, just for you to understand what we can do. Okay, but we can do automated to send on a specific time, specific day. We can keep getting it to repeat. We can check for patches. We can check for anything that you want. For example, like OS, if there's any patches out there that we found new one you can deploy automatically. You can. So I mentioned also before that most of my customers don't dare. Same for me. If you ask me as an administrator, if I control like 50,000 machines, certain application, I will test first before I deploy. It will not be auto-deploy. So most of my customers also tell me maybe the simple one that doesn't affect many things, like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, all this, it's okay, right? This application should be not much dependency, not much problem. So they dare to deploy automatically. So this is good. Now, there are some applications, most of us will be a bit more careful, right? For me, if you ask me, and some of my customers, they also say this, they say .NET, they'll be a bit more careful. Why? Because maybe on some servers, your developer writes some application related to .NET. You really want to test out the .NET upgrade first before you push to production. Okay, Python is another one. There are some maybe dependencies. Some people write application. You just want to test everything out. Make sure you also everything happy, good. Same for Java, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, zero-day detection. So Vicarius also have zero-day understanding. But right now, we are taking this zero-day detection back. We need to rework the zero-day detection before we relaunch and give it back to the customer. So you may or may not see the zero-day detection in the console today. Okay. So I talked about we can run scripts. So you'll notice that scripts, we can do scripts not only just for security, right? I think if you remember last year, OpenSSH has this vulnerability. They call it the regression. So customers say no patch. Everybody got to wait. But suddenly in the security community, there are a lot of people saying that maybe you can try to run this particular script. Okay, you go to the SSHD config file, you change this thing, you can temporarily mitigate against the risk. Of course, you still need the official patch when the patch comes, right? But at least you mitigate against the risk. Okay, so for us, you go to our console, try to hunt for the CVE number and see if we have a script for the CVE number. And if you have, you can actually send out to deploy or install that so-called script on the server. Okay. We also give you recommended action. We will tell you what are the recommended action you can do. There's patches for you. You should try the patches first. So this is what we recommend to you. If there are no patches, we'll tell you, hey, how about try looking at patchless protection. Okay. Now, X-Text is the prioritization piece. X-Text is the prioritization. We will push the score higher and higher for every application out there. If you have some tagging, some customers also ask me, Mark, can I make my own manual or custom tagging? And I score the tagging, maybe if you see this, give it this score. So right now, we do not support custom tagging. Because after talking to a lot of customers are also worried that what if their own administrator create a tagging called not important, maybe something like this, and they put the score equal to 0. So what if there's a exploit, right? And also a vulnerability. But by accident, they actually create this tagging called nothing, and they assign to a certain application. So they don't want to see anything happening to this application. Suddenly there's an attack, something happened. So customers will think, who should we blame? The vendor or the administrator? So right now, we cannot allow customers to have customized tagging, okay? But we do support asset group. Okay, asset group, you can group machines together, and this asset group name, you can say maybe like not important or low priority. Okay. So when you are looking at specific information, you see that, okay, do not show me anything from this group called low priority. Okay. This is how we can get around the customization of text. So we also have a user that you can create. We have the three major roles. Owner, you can do everything. You can create new user. You can assign user to particular groups. You can patch. You can run report. All this. Admin can do the normal patching, can do reporting, everything, but cannot create user. Cannot assign user to groups. Okay. The last one is read only, viewer. So these are maybe for different teams. They can only see, but they cannot action. Okay, right? So let's also go on to this thing that is important. This is not our console. Right? This is not a console. V Society is a website maintained by Vicarius. Now, I said earlier, Vicarius have scripts. We have cyber researcher to write scripts. Now, how many cyber researchers do you think we want to employ? 1,000? 1 million? Very tough, right? So that's why we decide to, hey, I think it's good if we have a community and people can contribute. So we started this website. When we started this website, a lot of people, we told them that now today, if you're not my customer, you are somebody who is into security, and you like to write scripts, you want to contribute, yeah, you can go, just create an account, you go there and contribute. You write some scripts, you write findings. Oh, I spotted a new CB out there. This is, you give information. So we will check all this information. If you write scripts, you share with us in this society. The scripts will not go into the product immediately. The scripts will be checked by our cyber researcher first, and then into the product itself. So when I joined Vicarius last year, right? Last year, maybe August, I only see about 400 scripts. Today, I think it's already 800 over, and it keeps increasing because we keep looking, this is a good script, good. Okay, we bring in, we test, all good, then we publish, okay? So in the past, anybody who joined V Society, write scripts, right, and then we find that, wow, this script is good. We give them points. So with points they accumulate, they can actually exchange for something like a cup, Raspberry Pi, all the techie things that you can find, right? Raspberry Pi, maybe Arduino, all this. Okay, you can use the points to change for something you want. So right now we also take down the reward. We are trying to big changes to the reward. Hopefully, once it's ready, we'll relaunch the rewards for V Society. Okay, next. Now, this is the back end. Now, you also see that we have AI. You also see this is the reason why sometimes customer ask me, Mark, you said that the central console is in a SaaS. I said, yes. So by the way, our SaaS is SOC 2 Type 2 certified, GDPR, all this, okay? So my customer asked me, oh, if you tell me it's in the SaaS, can I have the central console on-premise? Can I install on-premise? Now the reason is, I will tell you no, not now. The reason mainly is also because you need to understand, because we have AI and we are running a lot of things AI. So it's very difficult to update in a closed environment. Okay, that's one. Now, right now, the AI that we have in Vicarius is in the back end, meaning administrator cannot go to the admin console, just like ChatGPT today, right? You can type in something and then they will reply you. Okay, you cannot do this. Now, next year, we will bring the AI model to the front end. Okay, in the next slide, you can see what we're trying to do when we bring it to the front end. But let's explain what we talked about slightly earlier. V-Society, you see us talking about V-Society, because that's where also we get people to contribute scripts to us, all this. We will check the content, make sure it's working, it's good, it doesn't break stuff, right? And then we will put it to the model to train. We will also provide the actual scripts in the product itself. Okay, with the model, we will also have AI to generate remediation scripts to put it back to the product. Okay, so all this is the AI is in the backend now. Next year, this is what we are expecting to see. A console, go to the console, same console that you're doing configuration, doing everything. You can actually select and say, I think I hear the new CVE 2026, number 1234. Can you please help me generate 2 scripts? One, to check if I have this vulnerability. 2, can you also help me to generate a script to remediate, or so-called mitigate the risk if you can. So the AI model will generate the script. Of course, we always say when it comes to, I'm pretty sure you also try to use AI, ChatGPT, like all these AI models, sometimes to help you write scripts. For me, I do that also because there's so many things to do, right? Sometimes I also know how to do programming. I know how to write scripts, but sometimes there's just too many things to do. So sometimes I'll tell ChatGPT, hey, help me to write this function in this language trying to do this. Right? I won't tell everything, right? I only tell some information about what I want to do. So the ChatGPT will generate the code. So when I take code from ChatGPT, I will still need to look through. Right? But at least most of the thing is already generated for me. So same for us. The AI model will generate the script for you, but we always advise customer, because it's still AI after all, although it's quick and fast. Most of the things are there, but you need to look through. You need to take the script. You need to modify anything you want. Go ahead and modify it, and then test it out on your own test environment before you deploy the script for the rest of the affected machines. Okay. Question so far?
Anh Phú, mình
No
có
question?
câu hỏi gì không ạ? Yes, so please continue.
Sure. No problem. Let me continue. Okay, so we will go into how the UI, how the console will look like. I will explain to you. You can see below there are some lab work you need to do. Don't worry, I don't need you to do it online with me. I will give you the instruction sheet after this whole training session. Once we end, after we end the Zoom session, I will send out the training worksheet to you. I will also send you the login for the tenant. You can go ahead and test. Okay. Now, let's go through. Okay. So first of all, at the Vicarius, at the URL, you need to supply your email address. Now, once you have the email address, you put it in and you say send the login link. What happens is there is an email that be sent to you in your corporate email account with another link that goes to the actual URL. Okay, so you go to sign in Vicarius, you key in your email address, click send, then the 2FA link will come to you. Now, we do not have support. We do not want to accept Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo, because I know sometimes customers want to do POC with us. So they will ask us, oh, me too. Okay, can I do a POC for Vicarius? Yes. So usually when we do POC, I will ask from the customer, what's your email address? I know sometimes I also see in Thailand before, some customers give me the Gmail account. Okay, I want to test Vicarius Gmail. So I cannot accept. Our company do not allow Gmail. So I need the official company email address. Now, if you are using Vicarius for some time and you decide that you want to configure SSO, single sign-on, so let's say if you are using Google Workspace or maybe Office 365, right? Email, Office 365. If you configure the single sign-on, all done, the moment you click this button, and if you're already logged in to your Google Workspace in the browser, you will not see the 2FA link. You will be a direct login because the single sign-on is already enabled. Okay. Next, once you log in, this is what you should see. Okay. The color here is white color. We also support dark mode. You can click all this to click here. You can actually change the setting to say dark mode. Okay. Also, this is the name of the customer. So because we are doing testing, right? This is a demo portal. We call the demo portal partner. So this is called partner dashboard. Okay. So it is a dashboard. It shows you everything that you control in this environment, this tenant. So all this information is here. There are things in the dashboard that you can click. For example, if you look at the dashboard itself, we also tell you, oh, in this environment, of course, that's a demo environment. So this environment, we see 24 machines installed with the agent, 8 different types of operating system, a mixture. So you can click on this to see what are the different operating system. You can click and see what are the different assets that you have. These are all the different third-party applications that we detected so far. Okay. Anything with a star, it means that, this is new. Maybe there are 2, 3, or 4 administrators in Me Too. And maybe the administrator in Ho Chi Minh will install 2 or 3 brand new machines. Then Hanoi administrator will install another 4 or maybe another 10 brand new machines. So when there are new machine that's being added since your last login, you want to see what's the different new machines. You don't need to click on this 24 here. You can click on just the 2. Then they will show you, these 2 just joined. These 2 machines just new. And these are the 76 new application. Okay. So right at the bottom of the dashboard, you will see all the CVE, all this you can click. You can say that, I think I just want to see all the critical threat. You can actually click. You can also search in the critical threat. What are those threats that's related to maybe, let's say, I'll give an example, maybe Firefox. Okay, so you can click critical and you can search for Firefox related CVE only, or anything that you can think of. So if you recall, we have the Vicarius 1, 2, 3 steps, right? Discover, prioritize, remediate. In order to actually discover, we need to have the agent there first. Again, yes, we support the network scan, agentless scan. We do support, but it's not in this screen. I think if I'm not wrong in this training, or if not in the next training, which is the architect training, we will also talk about the network scan. Okay, so from here at the asset, so this asset, if it appears here, it means it's already controlled by us, right? Controlled by us. So you can click add new asset here. We will also ask you to actually copy the PowerShell command. You can actually install. So if it's Windows, we support PowerShell or CMD command. If it's Linux or Mac, we support Bash. Okay. Now there are installation prerequisite. Okay, we need something for you to get ready before you install the agent. For Windows, this website is important. This is our like a knowledge-based website, customer portal, vicarius.io. There's a lot of information there. Over there, we will tell you everything that you can think of. Well, I want to know how to install proxy. So you just say how to install proxy. We show you what the supported OS. You put there, we also show you. Here, there's a lot of things there. Okay. So you want to see what OS that we support. The full list is actually over there. For Windows, let's say Windows 11. I supported OS, good. But it's not just the OS. You also need to prepare and get ready. Things, for example, like Visual C++ redistributable. The latest need to be installed. TIS 1x2, I would say today almost everybody have it. But of course, check. But I think today we all have it. .NET 4.5 and above. Okay, you need to have. Right now, my separate project, a little bit things that I do on my own is I try to write PowerShell script and all that to check all these prerequisites. Okay, so the partner or even the end customer, you can just run the PowerShell script, you'll report back and say, oh, okay, does it comply? Are you ready? Can you install? Oh, no, this is not ready. You need to install this. Okay, so once I have the PowerShell ready, I can share with you. I don't mind. So next, Linux. For Linux, it's a bit simpler. If you go to the website, you actually find us. We say that we support Ubuntu. We say that we support Red Hat. We support a few others. But you ask, then maybe some customer maybe using Rocky Linux. They will say that, hey, maybe Rocky Linux is not labeled as in the official website. You did not say that Rocky Linux you support. So for us in Linux, I think if you Linux, if you have GLI BC 2.12 and above, most likely that OS is okay to install the agent. Right? It shouldn't give much problem. Okay. Right. Next, Mac. So Mac is a little bit tricky. Okay, and I'll explain why. Because I faced this problem before. So Mac, you certainly need Git application for patching. That's one. Number two, you may need Rosetta software. It is actually a application that you can install. Now, I think was it 1 year ago, last year? I during the POC, one of my customers said that, oh, I bought a new MacBook, the Mac Air, my new MacBook, and the MacBook comes with, I think, M3 chip, right, new chip. So I also installed Vicarius, and it did not work. Installation failed. So when we try to find troubleshoot, then we found out that you actually need Rosetta application, right? So you just look at the link there. Excuse me. You install the Rosetta application, and your Vicarius application should work okay. So other than installation prerequisite, I know by now a lot of customers out there, definitely antivirus, right? Antivirus, we all know this for a long time. Everybody has been using. EDR is something we also want customers to take note of and try to do exclusion. So the directory there for Windows, Linux, Mac, try to exclude, do not scan. Right, why? Right? I know some customers will always ask us why. Now, look, if you recall, we mentioned Vicarius, we also have you to do not just scanning, we also have you to do patching, we also have you to do scripting, right? So for us, if you wrote a PowerShell script, maybe your PowerShell script, you want to do snapshot the VM. You write a PowerShell script to snapshot VM before you update, right? Before you update the OS, update the application, something like that. So you write this PowerShell script. Now, when you send the PowerShell script through Vicarius to the agent, you get him to run, the agent to run the script. You're running a PowerShell script. So sometimes AV, antivirus, or the EDR will think that, oh, who is this trying to run a PowerShell script? Oh, they will block. So one example that we did with customer POC, using CrowdStrike, this is what I observed. Same thing. They actually block like all PowerShell script. So even when I send a command to reboot the customer wanted to say, okay, Mark, can you send a command to the Vicarius, this machine that we control, can you reboot the machine? The reboot did not happen, right? Because the CrowdStrike was there to block it, because he's thinking, who is this? Who is Topia? So by the way, Topia is an old name of Vicarius. So you see us in the system, like the system service is called Topia. There's a lot directory, we also call it Topia. The installation directory is also Topia. So the CrowdStrike will think that, hey, who is this Topia trying to run this script, trying to reboot us? No, something's wrong. So they will block all this. Okay, so exclusion. Now, like I said earlier, to install, once you click on the add asset, of course, you will see the different OS. Just click on the correct one, and you navigate to the proper selection you want to. Click copy. Okay, so once you copy that command, so let's say PowerShell is what you are comfortable with, you need to open the PowerShell a program in administrator mode, right? So then you run. Okay, so once you run, the installation usually take about 30 seconds or so. Okay, of course, customers always tell me, hey, Mark, how can I copy this command and then I run on 50,000 machine? Keep run remote desktop, run using PowerShell. Too tough, crazy, right? 50,000 cannot, not happening. So yes, we can support Active Directory GPO if you need. Put it in the GPO. We also support, let's say, Intune allow you to put PowerShell. You can also get Intune to run that. GemF is for Mac, right? For Mac. Okay. So asset group, asset group, I recommend you to look at asset group and create asset group. Why? Because like I said, so what if you have 50,000 machines you need to manage as administrator? If you want to send a patch that affect all Windows 11 machine, very tough. You need to tick, and there's 50,000. Okay, maybe Windows 11 machine is 38,741. Oh, very tough to select. Okay, so this is the time that grouping will actually help you a lot. So you can see in this print screen here, this is only part of it, part of the things that we can do. So you can look out for filters that says, if your operating system is Windows and is Windows 11, group them together. Of course, you can name this group to Windows 11 production group, something like that. Also in this screen, you'll find there's something interesting that's called CVE. You can actually group CVE that we've detected, group all these machine together with this same CVE number. Now, I want to tell you this grouping is not static, it's not fixed. These are filtered, right? So it means that if you comply to this filter, you'll be part of this group. If you do not comply, you are out of this group. So for example, CVE number, right? So maybe 50,000 machine. One day, maybe tomorrow, right? There's a new CVE announced, 2025, 1234, and Vicarius saw it in your environment. So you quickly group all this machine with CVE 2025, 1234, this serial number or so-called number, they group together. You found like 20 machine under this CVE group. No problem. You can assign this group and say, Mark, maybe today I work for you, right? And you say, Mark, today, no more meeting. Cancel all your meeting. Your responsibility today, you need to fix the CVE for this in this CVE. This CVE group, there are 20 machines that has this CVE. We know that there's a patch to solve this CVE. Please apply the patches. Make sure you solve all of them. As I continue to deploy one patch at a time, maybe I just want to be careful. I deploy one, test, okay, reboot. Now, once it has been patched, the CV for that machine is gone. You will find that the number of machines in this group will drop from 20 to 19. Keep patching to drop to 18, drop to 17, 14, and drop to 0. Okay, so we always say asset group is dynamic. If you fulfill or you comply to, you meet the requirements of the filter, you'll be part of this group. If you do not meet, you'll be out of this group. Okay, so same thing here, right? So we talked about Windows 11 just now. You group all the machines Windows 11 together. That's very good. Maybe you found 11,000 or 12,000. Okay, Windows 11 machine. Test, do whatever you're doing. Maybe tomorrow, your company buy another 5 more Windows 11 laptop. As administrator, of course, I will roll out my agent on this machine. Suddenly, you will see that this 5 machine will also automatically be added to this group without you changing the filter. Okay? Next, teams. Now you will notice on the screen, I have this thing called primary team. You'll notice that primary team means company-wide, whole company, everything. You hear me saying about asset group just now, right? Asset group 1, asset group 2. You can make your own asset group, maybe Windows 11 asset group. Windows Server 2016 group. Maybe you have a Linux group, Red Hat Linux group, something like this. Okay. Now, team is a different idea. In a team, you can control which asset group the team can see. I know the screen says team alpha, beta, Charlie, something. But maybe for us, we can say, so I'm in Singapore, right? So you can say team Singapore, team Hanoi, team Ho Chi Minh. So you can make different team and they can only see specific asset group. So in this case, team Singapore can only see asset group 1. Team beta, which is maybe, let's say, team Hanoi, right? You can only see asset group 2, which is maybe Windows Server 2016, and Linux group, you can see. Team Charlie, maybe Team Ho Chi Minh. Team Ho Chi Minh can only see all the Red Hat group, nothing else. So you can configure that way, and you can say who's a team member, which administrator is inside which particular team. So you control who can see what, who can do action on which group. Okay, lab time, I don't need you to do for your lab time. Do the lab now, don't need. You can do this at your free time offline. Okay, you go into the dashboard, continue. There's another few more slides. Let's continue. Apps risk. The apps risk are all grouping all the third-party application together. You see us using what we call X-Hex to prioritize your pushing the score to be high risk, medium, or low risk. Okay. Sometimes the application can be high risk because it has CVE, it has an active exploit out there, it has a patch that it didn't patch, it has a privileged usage, it has internet facing, it is end of life, right? The application can be end of life. We also display, we tell you, this application is end of life. So all this will push the score very high. Okay, so maybe you fix some of the problem, you apply a patch, you do this, you do that, So the application will not always stay high risk. Sometimes you will find cases where the application risk will also drop because you have done something to it. Okay, now you can choose the X tag here to say, I want to find things that is known vulnerability as a CVE number, has an active exploit. You can say known vulnerability and has active exploit. Please show me on the screen now. You will see all the numbers starting to change. We will refresh the screen based on your selection. Now you can also, just now that previous screen, you're viewing everything in your environment. Sometimes you just want to focus on one single machine and work on that machine. You can actually select that particular machine and look at the risks that you have, what OS you're on, what the party application, check if there's any application updates for you. Okay? See what are the related CVE to you on this particular machine. Okay? Now, this view, you are looking at all the CVE in your environment. Of course, if you think you're interested in us, I know all this display Firefox, there are 60 of them, but maybe you can click over here and say, I want to look at Chrome. We will isolate and try to find if there's any related CVE on Chrome. You want to know for any OS, you can choose this, right? Any application name, asset name. If you think you want to find out, like Mark, my machine, my laptop, does it have any CVE related to Chrome? You can say application is Chrome. You can filter and say Mark's machine. We will show you if there's any. Okay. For every application, you will see a different graph, right? Every application out there, the graph will be different because the risks are different. There could be announced vulnerability, but there's no active exploit out there. Maybe the risk score is also different. Okay, so you click on every application, this graph will change. So all this filter over here, I won't explain again, but you can certainly use them to help you filter application that you want to see, things that you want to see. You remember at the start of the presentation, I mentioned that there's so many CVE in the world. We will not display any CVE if it's not related to you. Same for our X tags. We will only display the X tags that's related to your environment. So there could be more X tags. So maybe same thing here. Me too. All your software is up to date, very good. Your administrator, keep checking. You're very hardworking, you check. Maybe he will never find in your Me Too tenant, that you will never find this X tag called end of support. Okay, but maybe for me, I'm a customer. Manpower is low. I don't have time to do many things. You may find end of support software. Okay, let's continue. Vulnerability remediation. Excuse me. So for software, if you recall, software patches, yes, we can deploy software patches for the 3 major OS, Linux, Windows, Mac. If you have any patches, you should look out for this little icon. This little icon here will show you that there's available patch for you. Now, every patch, the description, the KB number, when it's released, is all displayed here. What CVE does it solve? What asset needs this patch is also displayed here. Now, maybe sometimes Microsoft will say that, this patch you need to apply is critical. So the severity of what they declare, high, medium, low, is also displayed here. Okay, so I mentioned here, you can check the date of release, all this is over here. Now, sometimes, whether it's application, is all this, there's too many things displayed on the table, in a console. This is sometimes what I also will do, and what my customer will also do, because there's so many applications that you display. You can see over here, right? 1,939 applications that we see, but not all will have patch. So I don't want to take time to keep looking through, scroll up and down, very tough. So what I'll do is, I'll just filter and say, okay, show me application that has patches, because it's something that I can work on, right? Something I can take action. So you can say hashtag has patch. Now there's a lot of hashtag the X tags, if you remember the X tag that I showed earlier, so many of them, right? All the explanation is actually available at our knowledge base website. Okay, you don't have to remember all. You can find the explanation at the knowledge base site. So for me, sometimes I'll choose has patch, so I quickly can find out, okay, these are the application that I think I can work on, right? At least quickly solve them, deploy the patches if they have the approval from the bosses. Then let's proceed from there. Okay. You can also change the view. It's up to you. You can search for specific application. You can say high risk is already 29. Sometimes the low risk with patches is 200 over. Too many to see, right? But if I know that there's a particular patch, I really want to find it first and patch it first, search for the name. Okay, it's over here. Now, you will also sometimes see that in our chart move up, then suddenly it drops. It could be a few reasons. Now, number one, the reason is because the patch has been applied, it leads to a lower scoring. It also can be sometimes because you enable patchless protection or virtual patching. Okay, so patchless protection or virtual patching is either monitored mode or protected mode. Okay, you want to find out what are the application that already has patchless protection enabled instead of trying to hunt in that 1,900 over application. Just filter by these two words, these two keywords. You only show, so you can see from the screen, if I count, I have 5 high-risk application that has patchless protection. I have 3 in low risk that has patchless protection. Okay. Okay, automation. So automation is just another way to say that you can actually run day after day, maybe on a daily basis. Please run this following action to check for application patches, to check for OS patches, just an example. You can also set it to weekly, you can set it to monthly, you can custom, you can set it a different, like every first Monday of the month, something like this, okay? So automation means that you get it to keep doing, okay? Right? So you will notice I also screenshot for you over here. I know I only selected the application update, but you can feel free to add more things in the list here. Maybe other than doing application update, I would like it to run a script for me. And you can run a script before, you can run it after. So you can move the like what comes first, what's done first. So you can say, run a script first, help me to copy registry key. Good, registry key done, copy it. Next, update the patch. Update for Firefox, Chrome, Edge, something, update, done, happy. Last one, run one more script to help me copy and do these things. So it's up to you how you want to put what to go first, what to do first. You need to select the target. So you remember, I mentioned. Now, if you select a target, if you have 50,000 machines, it's very difficult to select like 1,000 over machines that you want to send to. Too tough. It's always good to create things in groups, so you know when you're sending things to a group, you know for sure that this will be sent to the correct group. Now, the other thing, customers always ask us, now, Mark, you say that I sent to a group. Maybe in this group, I have 1,000 machines. I say, yes, okay, 1,000 machines. But you say, over here, the screen say update Firefox. I say, yes. So customer asks me, oh, what if maybe one of the machine, the user already updated Firefox on his own, but this machine is part of that 1,000 machine in the group. What will happen? Okay. Now, what's going to happen is, if you only have application here, this will be checked, Firefox. Okay. So this command will be sent to that group, that one single machine that already have Firefox installed to the latest. No problem. the script will still run, right? The automation will still run on the machine. It will still go and check, Firefox, what version are you at? Oh, latest. Okay, they will not do anything. It will just end there, stop. But for the rest of the 999, the automation will be received by the agent. The agent will say that, today my instruction is to update Firefox only. No other script, no OS, no send report, no reboot instruction. Okay, good. He will go and run a check. Firefox, what version are you at? Not the latest? Okay, never mind. This latest is for you. Install now. Okay. Now, action window is just telling the system when do you want to run this update, at what time, which day, all the settings over there. Okay. Okay, vSociety. I already explained vSociety and why we need to have vSociety. So I won't explain again. But vSociety actually has a lot of information there surrounding exploits, surrounding vulnerabilities that we see, what's happening, who contribute what scripts, and all that. You can actually see it all there. Okay. We also have integration. We support integration. I know from when you see from the screen here, you will find that you only support Splunk and Sumo Logic. All my customers using Oxide, SIEM, right? No problem. So these two, Splunk and Sumo Logic, is just you can configure within our UI. The integration is direct. Okay. Now, if you have customers who use like Oxide, I don't know, maybe what's the other Greylock, right? Other SIEM out there. No problem. We also support syslog over TLS. Syslog over TLS, you also support that. You can actually send the logs over to be ingested by your SIEM. We also support API. You can make API call to us to pull the information of what we understand or what the party application you install, what the patches, what the vulnerabilities we see, all information that you see on our dashboard can be pulled using API. We also support webhook if you need. We also support SSO, single sign-on. We also talked about this slightly earlier, right? So we support things like SAML. We have integration to Okta, all that for single sign-on, Duo. Yeah. Okay. Right. Any questions so far?
And for what?
No question.
No question?
No question
Okay.
right now.
Cool. Let me stop share. I'm going to show you the console. Okay, you can see, no, I have not shared. 1 second. Share screen, share. You can see my screen, I think. Yes, good. Okay, you should be able to see my screen. Okay, from this point onwards, we will talk about, I think just now you see us the screenshots, we talk about the console and all that. You will also see us, this is same thing, this is a demo test environment. This is dark mode, so let me switch to light mode, easier for the eyes to see over Zoom. Okay, so if you recall, I will touch on a few points. I do not need you to do the lab with me, right? You can do it during your free time. If you run into any issues, any questions, let me know. Okay, you can drop me a mail, and if you have time, if I don't have any meeting for the day, you can ask me, hey, Mark, tomorrow at this time, can you meet me on Zoom, right? I have a question. So sometimes through Zoom, it's easier to explain. Okay, I don't mind if there's no meeting for me. Okay. Now, so I explained to you, I have single sign-on, so I don't need to go to get the 2FA link. But once I single sign on and go in here, usually you will see this dashboard is what you see. All right. So dashboard by default settings, there's nothing selected all here, nothing selected. You are seeing everything in your organization. So if you control 50,000 machine, it will be 50,000 machine here. All the different OS, you can notice if I mouse over, you can click on them if you want. Okay. Now we will also show you asset each machine who is high risk, who is medium risk, who is low risk. So prioritize your time who you want to fix. We also look at the application risk. Okay. This is just an indication for high, medium, low risk for asset, but maybe there's something that you can work on. But application, certainly you know that there are things that you can work on. Okay. So you can click explore. We look at what are all high risks here. Okay, but before all this risk score comes up, you need to install asset. Excuse me. So you can see all these are already installed, but let's say we want to install a new one. Click add asset. If you remember, I mentioned Windows, Linux, Mac. Maybe let's work on Windows. You can say, aha, PowerShell. Okay, I'm going to install for HR department first. Let's say, but you can think, oh, how am I going to group HR department together? Okay, we support something called tagging, endpoint tagging. So this is a digital tag. So what I did was under Windows, I click Advanced. So this is a digital tagging department. You can type in department, select HR, select, okay, and you say add to command. Excuse me, you see below, you see endpoint tagging. This is a digital tag, right? The user cannot see it, and only administrator within the console can see it. You can add more. Maybe some people will say that, how about country? Huh? Singapore. Okay, but here, okay, it's in already. Good. Copy. So you go to the machine, PowerShell. Maybe this is an admin machine. Sorry, the HR machine. PowerShell, admin mode, run the command. So if you think you want to limit the CPU, up to you. Okay, up to you. But how much resource we take and all that, we also publish in our KB knowledge base website. You want to prevent people from stopping the Vicarius service, because sometimes a server administrator, I'm sure you have the admin password to the server, right? So you can stop the service, you can do this, you can do that. But if you're from security team, you want to prevent them from stopping the service, even he has a full admin, you can put an anti-tampering key. Okay, so only the Vicarius administrator will know. And he can stop the service. So let's disable this for now. So if this copy, install, installation usually take 30 seconds. Okay, so once you install, you will see that the agent find that, okay, asset name, the one more machine will pop up here. Okay, and when you first start, this will be 0. Don't panic. This will be 0 because they're just starting. Because they need to understand what applications you have, what the, sometimes you will see this analyzing apps. Analyzing apps means that he is actually scanning for any changes, what OS you're on, what the patches, the third-party application that you have, all this. So when you first install the agent, they will definitely scan. Online, offline, I won't explain too much. It's easy, whether you're connected to the central console or not. Sometimes you also see pending reboot. This is sub-status we call pending reboot. I'm sure you know, sometimes you install a patch, the OS asks for reboot. Not by Vicarius, but the OS asks for it. So you need to reboot the server, the asset machine, before the patch is being recognized. Okay, so this is just the OS floating the instruction to us from Vicarius and say, hey, I need to reboot. Okay, So sometimes when you install a patch, you will also notice that the end user cancel the reboot. Maybe like now, right? We're in the Zoom. We don't want to interrupt the meeting. You cancel reboot. So we can also do that. Okay, cancel reboot. Okay. So when you cancel reboot, this will appear because I'm supposed to reboot, but you say don't reboot now. Okay. So one second. So all this is, I've explained this part. Let me explain group, then we talk about the X tag. You know, remember, if you recall this screen, you remember that as I mentioned, you can actually group certain CVE number together. Okay. You can group application together. So remember, this is dynamic. That means if I remove the application, that particular machine name will be removed from this group. Okay. You can group OS together. Okay. Let me clear this, or maybe let's stay. I'll leave it here. Let's say. Remember endpoint tag, country equals to Singapore, equals to Japan, whatever. Now, if you choose, now if you have chosen this, you choose this, choose. This is what you choose. If you do not get anything, it means that something somewhere is wrong. Maybe there's no such tagging applied in your environment. I go down, I just want to look for Windows 11. Oh, sorry, Windows only. You notice that if you can find something, your preview will appear. Okay? Right? So if you don't see anything, don't panic again. Just look through, see what you have selected. Okay, and let me cancel because if not, I have too many groups. I already have 178. So what are the good ways to use groups? Yes, I mentioned to you that groups can be used for when you want to send patches, send scripts, generate report for a group. You can do this. Yes, you can. I also want to teach you and introduce to you other ways to use. If you recall, team. After you make the group, you can say this team, Japan team, can only view this group. Yes, you can. Maybe I'm the overall administrator. I see for primary team, everything in the environment, 50,000 machine. But I only want to see a specific group. Oops, sorry. Okay. You notice all the number change? Okay. So I hope just now you were looking at it. How many assets? About 30, I think. There were 1,900 applications, 8 different operating systems. So all this will change, even this below, change according to this group. So imagine you create a group for CVE, 20 machines that has a specific CVE. You select a group, you see this information, go patch it, solve the problem, the machine will drop from 20, 19, 18 to 0. That's our objective. That's what we want to do. Okay. Let me clear this again. Everything, go back. Now, this is the time I also explain to you why or what is X tags and why is this important. X tags help us to push the priority score. What to handle first. Most of my customers, of course, try to handle high risk first, followed by medium, followed by low. I also have customers have different idea, which is not a bad idea, it's a good idea. They will say that, Mark, not all high risk application can we can do anything to it. Not all. There's not an answer to everything solution to every problem. I say I understand what you're saying. So he said instead of I must fix all the 14 here, he said let's try to work on something. Oh, sorry, let's try to work on something that we can solve, right? So they say I want I don't want all, and I want to have, yep, known vulnerability, meaning that this is scary, right? There's a vulnerability out there application. I also want to know that if there's a patch available for you. So you notice instead of staring at 19,000 application, probably some has CVE, staring at all the CVSS score, trying to understand what is important to us, what we can work on, trying to drag all this information from the internet, it is very, very tough. Instead of 14, now I have 8 in high risk that I can work on. I can apply the patch, see how it goes. Okay, you can do this, right? So let me go back, let me clear. Everything come back. Now let me go into explore. Excuse me. Okay, good. So right in here, there's 2 views. It's really up to you. They both have the same thing. You click on each and every, oops, sorry. Let me close this. Okay, so you can click on all this. Everything here else will change. Maybe we select here, like here. Right, you notice the graph. This is for VLC player. I click for Illustrator. The graph is going to be different. Okay, right? Let me go back to table. Because to me, table, I prefer the table because it's easier to see. It's very easy to see what's new, very easy to see what's new, what has patches, right? All this. They are arranged in a high, medium, low format. I also have customer who told me this, hey, there's so many, right? 1,900 over. Let's try to find something that has patch. Suddenly, we rearrange all that, only showing things that has patch. Okay, so this particular one, I think is a UI bug. So I think I reported it. They are fixing this for me. But you should see all with this icon. Okay, all with this icon. So Chrome is here. Excuse me, Chrome here. So I know that maybe there's so many below, right? So many. I cannot find Chrome. The list is too long. You can also say, hey, how about just show me Chrome? Right? They will find immediately for you. So I click. I can tell you the recommended action. You see, dear administrator, there is actually patches for you. You can deploy. Okay, you can straight away click here. It brings you to this, which means the official patches. You can click on the affected asset and deploy it out now. Okay. Now let's maybe do one, just an example. There is a difference between automation. Automation, you also can deploy patches. There is a difference between you deploy from automation and you deploy from here. This is more like one time, send one time. Okay. So look at here. I say update. It brings me to another screen. Excuse me. So I will say Chrome. Usually I try to name my patches like a job, right? So at least I know what is happening, what I sent out. So from the previous selection, you know that you choose Chrome. I scroll down. You know you selected this one. Yeah, you can select more if you want, right? But let's just stay here. Scroll down. You will see that we ask you, who do you want to send to? If it's Linux, Mac. So we notice that, okay, based on just now, right above, it says that there's only one affected machine here. Yeah. And they already know which machine this is. You can say, yep, this is the one. Of course, if you think you want to select in a group format, yeah, up to you. But stay with this. And since this is Windows 11, this is Windows, you can choose to give what power to the end user. Do you need a reboot if the patch asks for one? When you reboot, is it immediate or delay the reboot for 1 hour? Do you allow them to cancel reboot? Maybe you don't allow them to cancel reboot, but you allow them to snooze, to delay the reboot. You can say you can delay up to 3 times. Up to you, you can choose. Add a custom message. These are simple. I won't explain. You can say, hey, I need to reboot now. I'm the administrator from your IT, whatever this is. And you have pop-up message. You can even say, I want to reboot the machine if the user log out. Reboot will start now. Okay, so let's say you choose what you need to choose, give them the power, select the machine, and you can say, now, immediately, this immediately now, if machine like this, for example, is offline, we will keep trying. We will keep trying, okay, for let's say 1 hour. If it's once, it means that there's a specific time you want to run. Maybe tonight, 1 a.m. in the morning, I will run this job. Time zone, you can set here. Maybe Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi time zone. Okay, so you can say finish. Now, customers always ask me, I only see now once. What about weekly, daily? So the weekly, daily, all that is under here, automation, because this is keep doing. Just now when we select from here under application, if you do it patching send that way, it's usually right now or specific time, one time only, ad hoc. Okay. Now VRX analysis talks about the scoring, why we score you so high. So you mouse over, we tell you every reason why it keeps climbing, the number keeps going higher and higher. Okay. And why it drops down? Because you have patchless protection enabled. Okay. Which version is installed on which machine? What CVE is all listed. Excuse me, it's all listed here as well. Any threats related to you listed here as well. Okay. Anybody who ran something, installed a patch, is all listed here. Let's see if some of my colleague, look at this. Updated Wireshark, who did what, at what time, sent out the job, is all listed here. Okay. Any questions so far?
No question.
No question. Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
I'll show you one last thing. You don't need to do the net, excuse me. We have network scan, but you don't need to do the network scan in this training. There will be a next training that is architect training. We will then do the network scan. Okay, so you don't need to try the network scan now. We can touch a little bit on automation before we end the session. Look at create automation, app update, right? So this is automation. Check weekly browser. Okay, that's just a name I give. So I want Chrome. Excuse me, I want Edge. So if you can see, sometimes the list is too long, keep going down too far. So sometimes I will say Firefox. Excuse me. So here, okay. So I selected 3. These are all the browser. Like I said earlier, browser, simple programs, not to worry if it gives problem, I just reinstall. Okay. And you can also add more things. Run a script. I drag, drop. I don't have a script to copy registry key, but let's say this is the script to copy registry key. You can write one. So anything is my script is private script, your own script that you write. They are not shared with anybody else unless you want to, unless you select and say, yes, I want to share. When anyone, Vicarius user, share the script, it will not jump to public immediately. The script that you share will come to Vicarius Cyber Researcher first. We take a look, we test, we make sure it's okay, it doesn't destroy people's stuff, then we publish. Okay, then you appear under here. So you can say, I want to, run the script, copy registry key first, update, right? Now be careful of the vendor severity, because this severity is not my severity. This severity is talking about severity of the Chrome, severity of the, Firefox, Mozilla, Microsoft Edge, what they declare for the patch. In most cases, I will select all, but it all depends on you and the customer. So sometimes I also have customer who do this. They do this, and they tell me, Mark, the Firefox installation did not take place because the Firefox actually declared that particular patch as not applicable or no low risk. So of course I will never run because I'm following your instruction of this tool. Okay, so usually I'll select all unless your customer tell you something else. So this already explained what you want to do, what you want to allow, all this already explains. So let's say you choose everything, happy already, go next. Deploy on a group that you want or asset selection. So if you can understand what I said earlier, this is only 30 machine. What if you have 50, 100,000, one by one, click, 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 oh, it's super, super tough. Okay, so I recommend group works better. Okay, and then you can set. I also have customer who ask me, Mark, what if I send and then some install, some not install because they're not offline and this, that, blah, blah, blah. You know, a lot of different combination. And it's really up to you. If you want to send, you can send the same job again to the same group. If you recall what I said earlier, if the version is already upgraded, tested and good, no other things to do, that the automation will end for that particular machine. I also have customer who try to make another group. For example, like this, create new group, whatever that group is. You will say that I want to find Firefox. I want to find Edge, Chrome, whatever you keep adding. And they will say things like dispatch. Group this to one group. Then they will send the patches to only those who hasn't picked up. Okay? So it depends on what you're doing. Why I say, okay, maybe let me pick the select a set first. Okay, maybe here. Let's see. Okay. Now then Chrome, sorry, browser, then select the schedule. You need to know what to do. Now, if maybe you're only running once this time, you know, control, then maybe yes, it makes sense for you to make another group and run again on a separate day, maybe. But if you have chosen something like this, weekly, start date tomorrow, end date somewhere far, far away, right? And please check every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, 1 a.m. in the morning, run. Then, of course, I don't need this second grouping, okay? Because they keep checking, right? Every Monday, every Wednesday, this time they check. If you're online and you have not received any patch, there's outstanding patches for you, they will deploy. Okay? Unless maybe I do have some cases also. Although it's browser, and maybe because Chrome announced like an urgent, this CV is really very dangerous. This vulnerability very dangerous. You should get it patched as soon as you can. And of course, maybe your bosses or customers' bosses will not want to wait for next the next one, Wednesday or Friday, to run the patch. And yes, it does make sense for you to create a special group. Look for Chrome, look for Firefox, has patch, find a group, deploy it, go. Right? You can also do it that way. Okay. Right. So where to see activity? Because you already sent out the patch, you want to know what has been done, what is working, what is not working, who received, who hasn't received. You actually can regroup them based on OS updates, activity type. You can say OS updates. Yeah, I was running a script. I was running an app. So maybe if I run a Firefox update or Chrome, you say, yep, I want to look for update. To and from this is simple. Last 7 days, all this I won't explain. But more of this. Okay. And you want to say that finished. The job ran and finished. Okay. Now, finished means that I sent out the job, whether did we deploy it successfully or not. The job is finished. But sometimes you'll see a job has been sent, but there is a failure, you need to see what it means for the failure. Okay? Like sometimes the Wireshark, the creator of Wireshark created the patch, put it there, and they find that, oh, sorry, maybe for them, I don't know, they updated, oh, this is the new patch, please use this. And after a while, their own administrator from Wireshark say that, oh, no, we uploaded the wrong installer file. They deleted, and then the URL is different. Okay, that there is sometimes maybe you will see things like this. Okay, but in most cases, you should see things like this. Succeeded means we pick the installer, we send it to the particular machine, install, all good. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Any questions?
Tuyết
Any
có câu
question
hỏi
before
gì
we end?
không Tuyết? Anh đang hơi bận.
Dạ, hiện tại thì em cũng không có câu hỏi gì. I have no question right now.
Okay, so this is what is going to happen. I will go into the user management. Okay, this is my demo account, but for your own actual account, I will invite you. I will send an invitation to you, right? So you should receive an email coming into you and say that you've been invited to join a particular dashboard. Okay, so you can actually register and put your password and all that, and then you can start. I will also send you some instruction what to do. Maybe after lunch, I will send it over to you, and you can take a look, and then you can start doing your the lab worksheet. Any question you can let me know. Okay. Okay, so if there's no further question, I think we can end here. If there's any issue that you face, you can let me know. Okay, drop me a mail or let me know. Okay.
Yeah. Can you share your slide, your slide that today you present, you share for us?
Okay, so I need to check because those are our training slides from HQ. I do not know if I can send over the training slides, but for the presentation slide, maybe let me share screen first. So training slides, maybe I cannot share, but these first few parts, right? All this up to here, all the way up to here, these are actually our normal presentation slide, product presentation. So this should not be a problem, I can say. Okay.
Thank you. So thank you for your time.
Okay.
And if you the document or the something information you can share with in Gmail. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, I will send to your office email. Then I will maybe put a Google Drive link so you can actually use the office email to retrieve.
Yes, thank you so much. And
okay.
Yeah. Again,
Thank
thank you
you
for your time.
No
Have a
problem.
good day.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.